Okay, this next program or site I'm going to talk about is the CPM Math. CPM stands for College Preparatory Math. And this is a program or a curriculum I used many years ago, over 20 years ago in the early 90s. And this one is really a concept discovery concept type of a program where if they're going to introduce a topic, they'll do it by having students answer questions that kind of lead them to the concept. Looking at this as I've kind of investigated it, we were going to pilot this at our district, but we didn't. But it looks like it has a lot of the same things. I'm just going to kind of roll this. This is their video of how the courses are organized. Their ebook works. A lot of the same type of features. I might jump ahead a little bit, but it's got in their ebook, it's got hyperlinks to vocabulary. But as you look here at the chapters, it'll talk about how there are problems that are created. I remember when I taught this back in the early 90s, there was one overarching problem for the whole chapter, and that would kind of lead them through the chapter. So they're talking about here the links. They can go to vocabulary as they talk about it. But this would be one where they're kind of a big overarching problem that kind of leads them to a certain topic. Now, I remember, and it kind of shows it here, there's anywhere from 7 to 10 problems per day in what they would call a lesson. And then there's homework problems after that. So what they're showing here is what would be considered the homework problems. And then there's tools that are linked like Desmos and things like that. But it gives them hints on how to do some of these homework problems. So this is kind of the way that they do that. This video goes on to show, again, kind of what some of the goals are for the way they do things, and some of the other features. A chapter outline here for each section in the chapter. It goes on here, if I can scroll ahead a little bit, it goes on here to some parent resources that I thought were pretty cool. Here's the glossary type thing. But for parents, it shows some things that their kids are going to have to know, shows where they can go to find some of these resources to help. That's the parent guide. I think I might have passed it, but there were some pretty cool things on that. But this is really a discovery based, and I know when we were using this earlier, we didn't feel like here's some videos that go with it. We didn't feel like there were enough assessment resources for this program, but a lot of people do use this. And actually, my daughter used this in her 8th grade class last year, and I thought it was fairly challenging and made her think. So it's another one that's out there for math, and I think it's more on the West Coast. This was discovered by some teachers out of Sacramento. I think are the ones that kind of put it all together. But there are some cool features to this, and the fact that you really have to, what are these questions leading me to, and you have to kind of discover the concept on your own, which is kind of a cool idea.